Welcome back, friends, to another beautiful day here on the farm. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to try to get our lawnmower back up and running for the spring. It's been sitting all winter, all fall and winter, and the last time it was used, the deck actually broke on it, so that's why we parked it. The weeds and a little bit of the grass are starting to grow now, but the weeds for sure, and that's something that the kids can use to cut the grass even while I'm at work. So hadn't got them trained on the tractor just yet, but the lawnmower works out great for that. So we're gonna go ahead and try to take this thing apart, go ahead and weld up the deck where it's messed up, and go ahead and check the bearings and blades and all that good stuff, make sure it's ready to go for the season. So thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the video today. So here she is in all of her glory. We've had this mower 12 or 13 years, I guess, and it's actually served us very well. It was a Lowe's John Deere, nothing fancy. It's this hood I've tried to fix a few times. It's what we had when we were renting while we were building our house. We had it in a kind of a makeshift shed, and we ended up having some real bad straight line winds come through. I don't think it was a tornado, but it was some straight line winds, and destroyed the kids' trampoline, destroyed our shed, which in turn came right down on top of our lawnmower. But it's just cosmetic. It ain't nothing that affects the running of it. So the deck has had some repairs done on it, quite a bit. Over here is where the problem lies. Let's see, so that bracket, well, that's just loose there, but there's another spot. I'll have to see if I can find it under here. The wheel came off and a little metal bracket that holds it, so we're gonna try to weld that back up. First things first, we're gonna get this deck out from under here. I've already got, I think, everything unhooked. Nope. Forgot the idler spring, the engagement spring here. Alright, so this is our big problem here. It just totally rusted through. Let's hope once we get her ground down, there's enough good metal there to weld to. We shall see. While we got it apart though, we're gonna go ahead and clean everything up, check the bearings and the blades, and make sure everything's good to go while we've got it all apart.
You got the star socket you need?
It's pretty rough shape. Brakes are used up. All right.
You want to get the air compressor so you can blow that out?
No, I think I'm gonna get the grinder and see if I can take this down.
Okay.
It's paint. This old deck might have another year or two on it. That's gonna be about it, I think. It's rusted up pretty badly. But we're gonna see if we can't get it welded up here. And I got these a couple years ago, actually. These magnet set from Harbor Freight. It was like $5 is all this thing costed. So we're gonna see, try it out tonight. Seems to be pretty strong. We're gonna try it out and see how good it works. There's a bunch of different sizes. I don't need all these obviously, but let's see if I can't get a few of them to hold this thing in place while I can tack it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I am not a welder. I know how to weld just enough to make me dangerous. I have this little 80 amp Harbor Freight special here that I've used for the past 4 or 5 years for welding stuff. My plan is once I get my workshop built to upgrade and get a nice like a Lincoln or a Miller MIG welder wire feed and get rid of this. This is just a stick welder, but it should do the trick. I'm just using a standard 6011 rod. These are 1/16 inch. That's 3/4 flux and a very little bit of steel. We got her up a little hot. Never had that happen before. Well, I just got home from work. This is the next day. I ran out of light last night. I had a light on my work, but it was still so hard to see. I prefer, because I'm not a good welder anyway. I prefer welding in the daytime. That way I can see my work through my hood. So this is some ugly welds right here, boys. That's about all I can do though. It keeps burning through. I turned my welder down all the way down to the lowest I could without, and it'd still be able to weld. And it's still wanting to burn through in spots. So I think I've got it good enough. This is the bottom side. I did the top side last night. I think I got it good enough that it'll hold together. So I just need to get some blades put on here, tighten up these spindles because they've kind of worked themselves loose. I also fix this spot here. This actually went together pretty easy, surprisingly easy. Well, I got the blades off, brought it in here, and this is just a gift that keeps on giving. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that whole spindle is loose. I went to tighten these bolts, and this is actually all rusted through. So that's like one bolt, maybe two, holding that whole thing from just falling right through. And this is the second time we've had to do this, because my dad welded this up for me a couple years ago. It's lasted a while, but I'm gonna see if I can get some washers to work under there of some sort. If not, I may just weld that monkey solid on the underside and go that route. It did the trick. Well, those blades cut like a champ, but my welds did not hold. The welds holding that spindle, I just tacked it in about 6 spots around the base, and it did not hold. It did not hold. So that whole spindle's loose, and it's causing the blades to hit the deck. So I've got to try to re-weld that a little bit better, because it is not going to work the way it is. But it's kind of disappointing. But all right, I just got over here back in the barn, got it tore apart. Those of you that know what you're doing already know where I went wrong. You were probably you probably knew when I was welding. I mentioned I'm not a welder, and that I'm not a welder. So the reason it didn't hold, you can kind of see it's a little bit melted. I'm 99% sure this is like cast aluminum or something like that. It's non-magnetic. When I went to drill out the bad bolt that was wrung off, because when I tried to loosen up the one bolt, it wrung right off. That's why I was going to weld it, because the bolts were seized up. When I was going to try to drill out the bad bolt, it slipped off the bolt and right into the stuff. And the way it went to throwing shavings, I'm like, So I drilled a hole right beside it, and it blew right through it like it was butter. And it looks to me like it's aluminum. So that's gonna be a no-go. So I went ahead, wrung all 4 bolts off, got the spindle off. I'll go back to the hardware store in the morning and get a spindle. We do it nice because we do it twice. That's my motto. You can see here that the three of these 4 holes are okay. I mean, they're not ideal. They're pretty wore. This one here is toast, and the bolt was going right through. These here are pretty wore down, so I think I'm gonna get some bigger, like a thick washer, not a fender washer, but like a bigger washer that's a little bit sturdier, and then maybe make a washer for this out of like some flat metal. Get a piece of flat bar and drill a hole in it and put across here to where it's got more surface area to bite onto. Well, here we are a week later and $70 later, might I add. And we got our spindle with some new bolts, and I got some washers. So we're gonna get this bad boy put on and see if it works. Well, it seems to be mowing good. We are, of course, we're still missing the wheel that goes here. I think it mistakenly got tossed and taken to the landfill. So it doesn't necessarily mow like a brand new one. When you get on unlevel ground like this here, it's cutting in pretty hard, just because that wheel is not on there to help ride over the humps, kind of like this side here. So I think we're gonna go ahead and start saving up to get a new deck to put underneath this next year, just because this one's toast. And we're gonna say some prayers over this one for the rest of this year and hope it makes it through the whole season. What a pain this has been, but I'm so thankful that it's finally fixed enough to where we can mow grass, because it's definitely, the weeds are growing good. Grass is not so much right now, but the weeds are definitely coming on strong. So the kids can finally get to work, and they're looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to it. So we're gonna wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.